Welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast, the place for everything auto detailing in Australia right now. Here's your host, Dale Guthrie.
G'day and welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast. I'm your host, and once again I'm here with my co-host Joe. Good morning, mate.
Good morning.
So here's a sneaky little bonus that we thought we'd throw in.
You.
So here we are. So what's on our mind today, Joe?
Well, mate, I thought it'd be really cool to do a bonus set, like you said. Throw people another bone, see how it goes. We do it fortnightly, but let's see what it's like having a few in a row, which is really, really good. But yeah, I thought we could chat about ceramic coatings. What do you reckon?
Yep.
I hear they're good.
They're all the rage.
Yeah, they finally came out. But yeah, so I thought ceramic coatings is a really, really good topic because every detailer, I would say, uses ceramic coatings in some shape or form. We've given up the old wax, or maybe we still wax cars, which is great, but ceramic coatings can be really, really powerful in our business and helping us be more profitable and also help bring in other customers wanting other services. So it's a really good draw card. So yeah, man, let's chat about that. But mate, what has been happening in your life so far over the past few weeks?
Very busy with work, detailing at home. So yeah, on me long-term break here at home, detailing flat out. So it's quite hectic. I'm booked out for, I would say, 6 weeks. So which is
Wow.
crazy to hear for some people. From people I talk to, like I call people most weeks and have a chat, and it's interesting how they're not as busy. The market is up and down, and yeah,
And
and
so when
then
you're home, you're working 5 days a week.
yep.
Like you're not booked out 6 weeks ahead, but only do it one day a week, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that includes the time away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nearly 6 weeks out. So, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And yeah, I'm up to, I'd say, nearly June, like end of May. I'm booked
Yeah.
up to.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not hard because most of these jobs are like most of the week, like a full wrap
A lot of
sides.
wrapping jobs and
Yep,
stuff, PPF. Yeah.
yep. So
And I guess people have to wait. Hey, like it's not like just getting their car detailed to sell. They're
mm,
getting their car wrapped. So people are more inclined to wait to have that specialty type of service done,
yep. Yeah, last
which is
week I
good.
just booked in a whole week of just maintenance washes and pre-sales and got all them out of the way, and now into sort of the bigger jobs for the next few weeks and a little maintenance wash at the end of the week, stuff like that. So yeah, it's been quite hectic. So how about yourself?
Yeah, mate. Really, really, really busy up here. Lot of pre-sale details, a lot of ceramic coating work. I actually had the privilege of going down to Melbourne to the Formula One, which has been really, really
Oh
good.
yeah.
Almost died from a heat stroke on the Saturday, then almost died from getting the flu or something on the Sunday because it was so wet, so windy. I didn't pack anything. I had a shirt and shorts and shoes, no jumpers, nothing. And I caught something from Melbourne. I got real sick for like 2 weeks. And yeah, but it was really, really good weekend. Sat right at the on the grid. I was directly across from Red Bull and Ferrari's pit lane. And which was really, really exciting. And as always, Melbourne's such a crazy race.
Yeah.
You're watching it, hey,
Yeah, I was
live?
watching. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a great experience. I've never sat that close to the action before. But yeah, just being up close and just seeing them all get ready, before the race, and during quali and everything like that was really, really fun. There's so many people. I think it's a bit different to going to the supercars, right? Like a little bit more professional, so I've been told. Not as much rubbish on the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, really cool. But I'm well and truly over that. But it's been good. I'm pumped for you follow F1, hey?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did Albert Park back in 2008.
yeah, right.
So I
Okay.
think Mika Hakkinen crashed in front of me around that back straight. So I still remember it and have the photos. But yeah, yeah, I've been meaning to get back, but it's crazy to try and get a ticket there. And yeah, I was
It
so
is
close.
hard.
So, yeah,
It's hard and expensive, and I don't think I'll be going next year. I think I'll be saving the money.
yeah.
But it's a great experience. So if anyone listening is into the F1, tell us what you think. Is Max going to stay at Red Bull? Is he leaving? Is Williams going to get up this year? Is it their year? Or what about Alpine, Gasly with Alpine? We can have a little F1 chat later. Hopefully we're not boring. Hopefully I haven't lost anyone. I apologize. We love all sport.
Yeah. Probably got some
Most.
Ferrari fans, no doubt, too. Some Hamilton
Yeah,
fans.
yeah, yeah. Lewis Hamilton followers, just Lewis Hamilton hoppers, plenty of those going around, which is fine. But
Yeah.
back on topic, mate, like ceramic coatings, what's your thoughts about ceramic coatings? How do you utilize them in your business?
So I started using him. That was literally the product that got me back into detailing for a start.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I've always just I researched Geon or come across them, and that's all I really know of. So
Yep.
yeah, I've used others, and I run the Expel one as well now. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, the I think that you can use them for a wide range. You got the rim coatings, and then your interior protection as well.
Yep.
I don't do much glass. I was doing some, but their process was a little bit finicky for me. But
Yeah, yeah.
they do have a new one out now. I haven't tried it yet. I'd like to try things on my own car before I use them on customers. But yeah, I don't do. I know a lot of guys do the glass coating, but yeah, I haven't done much. I did do it on ours, but originally, but I don't think because we're our with our weather down here, putting that stuff on a front windscreen, I think you're going to have to constantly update it for a glass coating for
Yeah.
a start. So using the wipers all the time will wear it off. But I think it's great for like it's obviously got a lot of others into the industry as well because the profit margins are quite nice on coatings. So
Yep.
if you're charging correctly, so but yeah, I think it's been great for my business. So yeah, and it's yeah, everyone else has taken it on, and it's got a lot of people in the industry, and yeah, there's so many brands now. Like everyone's very brand related. Um, they're all using the best. So yeah, whatever works for you, really.
It's pretty incredible to think that protecting cars, putting a liquid on a car can create a business, can create revenue generation for you, and can be quite actually really good as well.
Yeah.
Compared to a 9 to 5 job where you get paid $1,500 a week, where it's like you can charge that much for a coating and do a really good job, have really good service, and you can earn that in a day. Obviously, there's expenses, but
Mm.
that's still pretty crazy. And you can do it like we do, you and I. We run our businesses from homes. We have like a studio or a shed that's been kitted out, and run a professional setup from home, which arguably you could say we would be more profitable because we're not paying for a whole another location like
Mm.
a shop like I used to have. Um, or you can be mobile, you can do it mobile, or actually have a fixed location as well. Yeah, Gion or Gion, however you pronounce it. I haven't looked it up in the dictionary yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Probably
it's
depends on
Geon.
where you are. Gion.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so I use NextZen as well. So I've been coding cars for probably like 12 or 13 years. Or longer than that actually now. But yeah, really, really good coding. I like it. I think it's really important how you found what you like and
Mm.
what you use and what works in your location and from feedback from your customers. And I've used a few different brands, but using NextZen has been good. I think it really resonates with people where I am, being made in Sydney, and a lot of people where I am love like Australian made things, being in a very, very small country town. But I love just simplicity. I like being able to do one layer, or
Yep.
easy two
Same.
layers, no like infrared lamps required. And actually, you talked about glass coatings. They actually
Mm.
do have a really easy to use glass coating, which is great. But I know what you mean because sometimes people get the jittery windscreen wipers. and then
Yep.
it's all hell breaks loose. And we used to get that a lot with Teslas, and so we just stopped coating windscreens on Teslas because it was the automatic wipers would come on when like one drop of water would land on the windscreen, and it would be really aggressive, and people would get upset. But I think like for Land Cruisers and stuff, it's all good.
Yeah.
You don't really get that kind of uproar. Um, but yeah, ceramic coating is total game changer for your business. Like, what do you normally charge, if you don't mind me asking? Like, how do you structure your yeah,
Well,
charges and pricing?
we do have a sort of all Geon stores try to have a similar price guide. So my top coating is 1650 plus GST.
Yeah, cool.
So, and that is, it's interesting because I talked to some guys in Melbourne and they are charging less. And I'm only doing the one code as well because that's why I find as well we do have our top code as well. That's extra, but that would nearly push that coding over the 2K mark.
Yeah.
And for my area to someone to say here's 2 grand for a coding,
Mm.
I'd probably be run out of town. So it's
Yeah.
that sort of price point that everyone has no dramas really going for. Like we have our next one is 1250 plus GST for Geon Flash, but yeah, I don't get much of that.
Yeah.
And our entry level is can coat, so we do that. We use that on our motorbikes all the time and um, older cars as well. So it's not something that I push for every day. It's only good for about 12 months.
Yeah, cool.
So easy to install, but and super glossy, but yeah, durability is not there. So
So
um,
how did you decipher your price for that 1650 plus GST? How'd you figure that out?
we sort of yeah, we're sort of working on their price guides, and
Yep.
then I think we might have a little bit extra on that.
Yeah, cool.
Um, but I think it's over time how once you work out your time as well, product
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, it was. I think it was lower than that back when I started, obviously. Um,
Because why would guys be charging less, you reckon? Like in Melbourne or
I
what have
think
you?
because they got more the competition.
Competition?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm
So the threat of losing the job because they're too expensive, lower the price to,
yeah,
sharpen the pencil, as people like to ask us to do. So I don't use pencils, mate. I use pens.
yeah, yeah.
So, um,
I do get some challenges from people that go, oh, I can get all that interior as well done for like that price from the dealership. So I've
ah,
had that one as
yes.
well. Our good friends at the dealership. So
Good friends.
um,
Friends of the podcast.
friends of the pod.
Oh,
But believe it or not, most people just come to us because they know what we can do. So and
yep.
they go, oh no, we've had that rubbish years ago. So no
Yep.
thanks. So
Yeah.
customers are waking up, which is good.
Yeah. It's only taken 10 years. It's only
Yeah.
taken a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like it's good to know what works for you, hey, and what works in your area. Because everywhere's so different. Like I think, I could probably use Geon up here. I think it could work. It looks great. Um, and the products do work really well. Like they obviously got a lot of installers for a reason.
Mm.
And yeah, but I find for me, like you're in a small city or a large town of about 50,000, is that right?
Not quite. No, I think we'd be nearly 30,000. So we're the
Oh, yeah, cool.
largest city out of Adelaide in South Australia.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
you're not super close to a large city, so there's not too many choices apart from you for people. And I have that too. It's like an hour and a half drive to Cairns from where we are, and we're a town of like 10,000, 7,000, 10,000 people. Um, and so you, it's not that you can charge anything, like you still got to make it reasonable, but you do have that little bit more extra flexibility. But I believe that even though we have that extra flexibility of pricing, that means that we need to run our business better because they're now relying more on us not so much the product. Like they're actually trusting you to do the job well because, well, I'm not going to go to the big smoke. I'm going to trust you, Dale, to do your job.
Mm.
And I'll pay what you're charging because I don't really have any other choice. And so I feel like it's the same where we are. And I've figured out like, around the $1,200 mark for my kind of like my flagship coating. Like they offer like a 7-year warranty and they have a one above that. It's multi-layered. I did a couple of those, but I was like, this is just so painful. Like
Mm.
it
Oh
was
yeah.
painful and so time consuming. And I kept on doing like Japanese cars with real soft paint, and I always find coatings are harder to install on those types of cars, with the range I'm using. So I just figured I don't think people are wanting this big U-Butte coating. I'm just gonna step back and use what I know I can be most efficient with, be most profitable with, but also deliver a really, really good product to a customer. And like I mentioned before, I do quite a bit of the cheaper alternative where I offer a coating that lasts 1, 2, 3 years, depending on how you look after it, with no warranty. And I add that on to a machine polishing service, and I find that's really, really profitable. Like I did a Hilux yesterday. I did it only in a few hours and charged around $700. Customer was absolutely stoked because it looks so good. It was a white Hilux and from a farm, and explained to him how to maintain it and how to look after it, what to use, and on his way. And that was just an easy. I'd prefer to do something like that than detail a ratty old RAV4. So
Did you do
um,
the interior on that as well?
the Hilux.
Yeah.
Nah,
No.
nah, just I do like all the door jams. I usually clean the interior windows because you see that filthy, dirty front windscreen, and
Yeah.
you're like, it looks like the outside's dirty when the inside of the windscreen hasn't been cleaned. So just little things like that. But no, I didn't do an interior clean. It was strictly just the outside on a dual cab Hilux. But you know what? Customers stoked. Um, they're stoked with the car, stoked with the result. They were referred to me by someone who had the same job done. So there's like proof in the pudding. And I was stoked because I got paid. So yeah, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if someone disagrees, please let me know. I'd love to hear what you think.
Mm.
Whether you think that's morally not right. But I just feel like you got to take advantage of those opportunities, I guess. What do you reckon?
It's like I think both of us can relate to our market. I always say
Yeah,
that we're in very similar markets. Your four drives, I got four drives.
yeah,
You got to be wary of what you can charge sometimes to certain people.
yeah,
So that's why we've got a couple of options for that. So,
yeah,
but yeah, with most PPF jobs as well, like we put in the expel coating on as well, and we do that cheaper as well because of the prep's mainly done with film. Like the film, once you put the film on, you just wipe it down and hit it. So
yeah,
there's no correction or anything involved. So
yeah.
we'll discount that a bit. But yeah, you do wheel coatings.
I don't use the designated wheel coating. No, I just use like the coating I put on the paint. I put on all the plastic trims, the windscreen wiper arms, headlights, taillights, and I'll do the wheels as well if it's a higher paying job. Yeah.
Yep,
I just do it for free, just the rim faces.
faces. Yep.
And you know what, for me, I just think it's gonna do. I don't know. I've just felt people haven't got down on their hands and knees and said, I wonder how the wheel coating's going. And measured it from the last time they checked up. I just feel like it's just a good bonus. It helps. It makes it easy to clean. No strings attached. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm
Mm.
not saying, making all these promises. I just tell them I coat the wheels because it's going to make it easy to keep clean. And I even do like inside the door openings as well. Just because you get a lot of dirt and grime inside the fuel cap, little things like that. I just do like when you open up the fuel cap, there's usually a bit of a painted surface. A lot of them have now plastic trim in there, but
Mm.
I still think Land Cruisers and stuff it's all still painted. And little things like that I do. Customers probably never ever gonna notice, but I will. So, what about yourself?
Yeah, that is an option we do. I haven't done many faces, to be honest. We literally jack the car up and take the
Yeah,
roof
get
off
full
and
in the wheel wells and
yep,
yeah.
do the whole thing. So
I've never been asked to do that up here. It would definitely pay to do it, I think, because there's so many potholes everywhere on the roads, and it's pretty bad. And so coating in the wheel wells makes complete sense. Um, but I'm it's going to sound bad, but I'm like, I don't really need to do it. Like, I
Mm.
don't really want to be pulling rims off cars, if I don't have to.
Mm.
But if it's a good means of like filling out the day, making more money, being more profitable, then yeah, go for it. It's a
Yeah,
good point of difference anyway, doing something like that.
yeah, and that's where I think my my hoist that's taking forever. Can't wait for that to get finished. But
Mm.
yeah, that'll make that life easier.
Because
Um,
see, when you got nice cars, it makes sense to do that, right? But like when you live somewhere where it rains nearly every day, like no one gives a stuff about the inside of their wheel wells on their Hilux or Land Cruiser because it's going to have be full of red dirt. So people will just care about the paint, let alone the wheels. So for me, it's like I don't think people really care about that. If they're all nice street cars, yeah, but Land Cruisers and Hiluxes and Ford Rangers, not so much.
yep,
Majority anyway. That's the
yeah.
majority. So
No,
what do you
we
think? Yeah, go
yep,
on.
yeah, we had it just on the quote. We have a list of other options that we offer,
Yeah,
like on the menu, and then yeah, people go, "What is that?" And then they're like, "Yeah, we'll get that as well," because they
that's
initially
really
just
good.
yeah.
Because they
So
don't know, right? Like people don't know
no,
what you do unless you tell them.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah,
That's a good point. Where do you think coatings are going, man? Like they've been out for a long time. There seem to be more brands popping up still somehow. Um,
they're
yeah,
popping up, but they're all offering very similar to what all the other coatings have got. So, um, I it'd be quite. I think if anything, they all these two layer ones might end up being single layered.
mm.
And then yeah, I don't. I'd be quite interested to see where they go. And obviously, are you, graphene as well. Are you using some of that? Were
Yeah,
you or not? Yep.
yeah. I'm no
Yeah.
scientist though. All I
No.
know is that it works really well. The coating works really. I don't care what's in it. It could have lemon juice in it, and if it works well, I'm using it, man.
Yeah.
Like, not to be naive, but um, how many customers have asked me about graphene? None.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't asked me to explain how, like, the chemical, how the chemistry works. They just want to know what it does and what do I need to do to maintain the car.
Yeah.
And I just say choose option B or option A. Sometimes I don't even tell them what the coating's called. I just say I have this product, it does this. It's just I just say it's a ceramic coating because I think when you start using graphene and all these other words that people still are learning, it's
Mm.
not really in their vocabulary. You got to reinvent the wheel for them, and that can just be tiring and hard. I'd rather just say it's a ceramic coating and um, you know, just keep it simple. But
I
yeah,
think
graphene, another one. Hey,
yeah, and I don't think customers are coming to you for next end. They're like, I want a ceramic coating. They're not coming to me for
yes,
Geon. They're just like, I want a coating.
yeah,
And then I said, this is what we use. Yeah, this is how it is.
yep,
So, yeah, I think most people. I think ones would stand out would be like the Modesta ones where the
mm,
probably the customers have done their research and they want that coating alone, like
yep,
that process and stuff. So,
yep.
but yeah, be interesting to see how many people are coming to their shops just for that brand or just coming for a coating.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. Like, because you get people, the type of people that come to you because they've deflected the dealer. So, like, they're like, the dealer's offered them something. So now they're going to go look somewhere else, and you're that other option. So it's like they haven't come to you purely out of like organic reach where they've just Googled you. And because oh, I really want to get a ceramic coating, it's like they've been to the dealer, they've heard their big spiel and what all the things they have to do and all the stuff. And now they're like, okay, you're my option A. I want to go see what the other options are because I don't trust you. It sounds a bit dicey or it's too expensive or whatever. And therefore they come to you. So their first reference or their baseline is what the dealership's offering. And then you are that, other alternative. And you
Yeah.
can work off what the dealership's offering as a baseline to then project yourself, which is, I think is really good because you can kind of point out the holes and the gaps in what the dealerships offer and ask good questions. And then you can say, look, this is what we offer, and these are my answers to those questions, which is really handy because I think there's that stigma, hey, of like, the dealership's offering me this, but I'm not too sure. I've had it before from them, it didn't really work. So what do you reckon? And they all of a sudden start trusting you,
Yeah.
which is great. So yeah,
I think if it's something that they can bring the car back for a maintenance wash, they can bring it to you rather than they're probably not going to take it to the dealership for a maintenance wash or any dramas with the coating. So,
yeah,
well, they probably will if they've got dramas, but I think going to a separate shop rather than a dealership, I think the customers know. And if you retail their products as well, it helps them maintain the car. So you're helping them lock them in
yeah,
for the life
yeah.
of
That's
that car.
exactly right. It's just showing that you care makes
Mm.
a massive difference. And I've got someone coming in today actually for that. I coated their car. They brought it back to me for me to have a look, and there's soap residue all over the roof and the bonnet, right? And like water spots of soap residue. And I swear she's not telling me the truth because I'm like, how do you get all that there? She's like, I've only ever used the car wash you gave me. And I'm like, well, did you ever rinse it off? Like, it is everywhere. And I reckon she's gone through a car wash. And you know, when you can tell when a car has not been washed regularly just by how the dust has settled on it, all the hand marks through the dust and the dirt on the car. Um, and she's like, yeah, I wash it once a week or once a fortnight. I'm like, that is not possible. Like, I'm not an idiot, you know. Like, I know what a dirty car looks like that hasn't been cleaned for 3 months. Um, and yeah, but anyway, so I'm doing like a maintenance wash and gonna get rid of a lot of that water spotting and stuff. And that's the first customer I've had who've come back as like not very happy. But even though I told her, what you got to do to maintain this and what this is what it is and this is what it isn't. Um, I think she's kind of ignored all that.
Mm.
But she is an older lady too. But so I'm just going to look after her and, you know, do a bit of a love job, but also not get off too easy about it. So yeah, but it's just that relationship, and I don't think dealerships would do that very well. I know for a fact that they don't. So the ones I've dealt with, there's some good dealerships out there.
Do you offer maintenance products or something?
I give people like if they're paying like over $1,000 for a coating job, I'll give them car wash, I'll give them a wash mitt and a drying towel.
Yep.
And with this particular person, I did all that, but she threw away the wash mitt or the drying towel. She can't tell me which one. I asked her what color was it, orange or green? She's like, yeah, that. And I'm like, well, which one? Because there was an orange wash mitt and a green drying towel, both two different things. Yeah, so it's kind of kicked off to a bad start with her, but not a car person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do try to set people up. I do recommend, you know, the right car wash and make recommendations for people to get from me, or just you can buy this from Super Cheap Auto or Repco. Like you don't need to. I try to make it that you don't have to buy it from me. There's other places you can go to.
Yep.
So it's not like you have to use this brand of oil or else your car blows up type of deal.
Mm.
Trying to simplify it and make it easier so no matter where they are in Australia, they can use that particular brand of car wash. But yeah, man. But coatings, hey, it's they're one day they're your best friend and one day they can be your enemy. But what would be your tip for people who are offering coatings?
With I think temperature,
Mm,
humidity, how we sort of regulate that or manage that. I got a split system installed. Otherwise, before that, I was doing it sort of early mornings or late at night in during the
yeah,
hot weather and stuff. So I've been caught out with that. So yeah, coding slashing off super quick, and stuff like that. So I think probably manage what time of the day you are doing if you are doing them outside or in a studio or whatever. Like try and get some temperature regulation there,
yeah.
pretty
I
much.
like to when I after I finish washing the car, I used to always blow cars down with an air blower, but what I do now is I got I got like a bitumen driveway and there's a bit of an incline, so I reverse the car back on the driveway and just let it drip dry on an angle. for like 5 minutes, and I'll go prep the studio. I'll get things ready, get my machine polish ready, pads, and spend 5 minutes doing something else, and then I'll come in, I'll move the car into my studio, and I just find just from being able to drip dry on an angle, it all the water runs out of all those cavities and around the aerials where the water just builds up heaps. And even when you do blow it out, the water's still there. I just find using gravity to your advantage is really helpful because, well, from my experience, coatings and water just do not go well together,
No.
which causes high spots and other little issues, and that's just a practical thing because how bad is it when you're coating and then you get that drip line running down from the mirror and you just go straight through it and you're like, ah, damn it, like it's
Yeah.
like traffic, like it just runs into each other. Um, and it's that decision where like, do I keep going or do I swap the applicator? Or I know
Yep.
different coatings will react differently, but I remember G Technique used to be terrible once it hit water. Like Crystal Serum Ultra, it'd like go real milky and just it'd be the worst. But there's a little bit more forgiveness with Nexen, which is nice, especially when you live in the wettest town in Australia.
Mm.
You kind of need that. But yeah, that's my little tip anyway. So, um,
What
but
about
yeah.
application? Do you use the applicators that come with, do they come with a kit with applicators, or are we all using
Yeah, they
Airfiber?
do. I just find though I end up using more applicators than what's given, so I always buy more. I have a stack of the order fiber ones and or I've just actually I just ran out, so I've just purchased some more. Um, and the ones I get are like suede ones from Nexen, and they're good too, but I do just like the thin saver applicators from Auto
Yep.
Fiber. They're just bigger and easier to use. But yeah, and sometimes you might drop an applicator or yeah, just you might just need a second one. Like if a customer comes and then the applicator dries out, it's like you don't really want to jump back to that applicator. You want to use a different one,
Yep.
in my experience.
Flip it. Yep. No, nice. But
What are
yeah,
some things that you shouldn't say to a customer? Or like how do you sell a coating? Like what's your little pitch? Do you have a pitch?
sort of. I just explain that how it helps maintain the vehicle, easy to
Yeah.
maintain, especially down here with in summertime with bugs and stuff. It'll help keep them, remove them easier. UV protection. I explain how we do the process. We will paint correct the car. And they're like, oh, it's brand new. And I said, yeah, well, it still needs correcting. Um, it's very light, like you're only going over it very lightly unless
Yeah.
you need to remove scratches and stuff. But um, yeah, and that's another thing of point of difference. If someone's got like a cheaper price or from the dealership, are they polishing the vehicle first, correcting the paint
Mm,
before application or not? So yeah, I don't really push warranty too much. I'm not big
yep.
on that. I think there's so many grey areas on a warranty. So
Yep.
we've got a couple drive-through car washes down this way, so people love smashing them. So
Yep.
we do tell them that you're not meant to. So I say just go there and rinse it down by hand, spray it down, and then drive off, and then like maybe spot free rinse it or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, don't
Definitely.
the whole drive through automatic thing. I said, yeah, not good. It'll
Yep.
degrade the coating over time. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Yeah, just very basic stuff and honest, really. Thanks.
Yeah, best to be honest, eh?
Yep.
Like about the drive-through car washes, I tell people I try to simplify it even another level and say, it's not that it's going to ruin your coating, it's what it leaves on the car that's the problem. So like because of all the chemicals and stuff, and if you drive off, it's all going to dry on the car.
Mm.
And so your car's probably going to start beating because all this other pollutants and chemicals and whatnot is left on the vehicle. Um, it could form water spotting, it could mark the plastics, like all the stuff. So it's just best not to risk it,
Mm.
like because you just don't know. And I don't know. I don't know what every car wash uses, so I can't tell you if it's good or bad. So I'd rather just deal in the work inside the box of what you do know and do it like that. Don't leave things open because if you do, then you can run into potential problems that I don't have control over. So, um, yeah, which I think make sense to people because it's like, yeah, I don't know what they use. So how do I know if it's going to have a consequence or not?
Yeah.
Are there things that you have regretted from telling a customer? Like, maybe you've said, oh, it protects your car from this. And then they've kind of taken that to a whole new level and then come back and said, oh, but you said X, Y, Z.
No, not
No,
really. No, I got
not
some
good.
got some good customers. We give them maintenance packs, so they I think I only have one, but it was the entry level coating for a start. So, and the thing had been around Australia and it wasn't working. I said, "Have you used the stuff?" And they hadn't really used the maintenance products like maintenance spray on it.
Yeah,
And then that obviously brought it back to a point, but it's yeah, I think the coating might have been trash after that. But
yeah.
yeah, I always remind the customers to keep using. If they bring it back and you look in the boot and the maintenance kit's still there, hasn't even been opened, like you're meant to use this to help with the coating.
Yeah, yeah,
But
totally.
yeah. So, but no, I haven't really had many dramas to be honest.
That's
So
really good.
yeah,
Yeah, like I think because when I first started coding, like I would just read off, like, I was using the information that I was told,
yeah,
right? So I was sold the dream. Coatings will always make your car shiny. It's always your paint's going to be perfect. That's how it was sold back in the day. And boy, was it wrong, because it's not a bulletproof vest. It's not a deflector shield on the Millennium Falcon, like it's a super thin layer that's there to help preserve the clear coat. So I've tried to really learn from my experiences because you'd get someone come in and be like, you told me my car would be like always looking great, and look at it now. Like it's been a year and I try to wash it regularly, and you're like, oh man, like, I did say a few things and now I need to change what I say.
yeah,
So in saying all that, I really try to make sure I tell people like it's going to really help make it easy to keep your car clean. It's going to really help reduce water spotting or chemical etching on your paint. I don't give people absolutes. I don't say it's going to stop water spotting. It's going to stop etching. It's going to mean your car's never going to get bird poo damage because you know what? It can happen. If you don't clean that bird poo off after a month or two, it eventually will eat through the coating if it hasn't already.
yeah.
Um, and it was interesting because I had an inquiry the other day for a lady with an Everest, and she asked like, what's cost of ceramic coating and what's required to look after it. And I was like, okay, she must have a little bit of a idea or experience with a coating. So I told her like, got to wash it regularly and use the right products, and especially if you want to keep the warranty, because that's how they discern if the warranty is valid or not. And then she's like, well, how do I do that if I'm traveling Australia and I don't have the opportunity to wash the car consistently? I'm like, that's a good question. Maybe I shouldn't do your car. So, well, let's chat on the phone, So she's going to call me and we're going to have chat and answer questions because it's like that's a really good thing to ask. And I appreciate when customers are like that because it's like they're actually thinking realistically about it too. Because I say to them, it's not a one stop thing. Like it's not a one step and then your car's always going to be perfect. Like
Mm.
as much as I'd like to think that, but if you are traveling Australia and you got access to bore water, or you're driving in the dust and it rains and the sun comes out, it's like, yeah, this car's going to get water spotted. It's going to get probably etched. The coating is going to get etched. Um, so just got to set up the correct understanding of what it's going to do and what it's not going to do. So I hope that helps anyone because sometimes you just want to avoid those situations, right?
I think if they're older and they're traveling, they're towing a caravan or something, they could probably take a couple of buckets with them and the products in
Yeah.
the caravan park. And like older people do look after their cars.
Yeah, like you can buy the filters that you connect to a hose. Like
Mm,
there's a few things you can do to like set yourself up. But yeah, I think asking people questions is your best friend.
mm,
Like not just selling them the dream, the white picket fence. You want to ask questions, find out how long they're going to own the car for. Do you like washing your car? Do you wash it? Do you have someone else that washes it, not the kids? Um, and so you can set yourself up to win. So, and like you said, it's easy to get a hold of that stuff. I think I had one more question for you, man.
mm.
I wanted to ask about pricing. I know you kind of answered it before.
Mm.
Um, so you have a guide, a price guide from Gion, and so does that actually like do you find you're most profitable with coatings, or would you be more profitable with PPF?
Coatings more profitable
Yeah.
at the moment. Like we're still working out because we're only a little bit in. Oh, we've been the whole GST thing because we started and it was sort of
Yes.
very small side gig, so we weren't. We didn't all have the GST side of things, so
Yep.
yeah, so that's changed everything up, and we've literally just everything as normal as it was, and then just added GST on top. But with the PPF profit compared to coding profit, I think we're still codings are much more profitable, but
Yeah.
um, we're still in that sort of phase working how I do track times and stuff. So we normally break even on a lot of things, so and could be up on a couple others, but yeah, codings you're always going to be probably ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's what you want.
Mm,
Because then if you are a little bit behind on other services, it can help balance that out.
yeah,
But yeah, like you don't want to be working all day on a coding job that's, you're only charging $600 for.
yeah,
Or else you might as well just wash cars and be more profitable just doing general car washing, smash them
yeah,
out. It's cheap. Cost of product is so much cheaper. Sometimes the coding kits cost $200, $300, depending
yeah,
on what you're using. So got to factor that all in. Hey,
yeah. Do
I
you
think, yeah,
keep the
go
vehicles overnight as well? Is that another?
on. Most times I do.
Yeah,
Sometimes people just can't. And if it's the cheaper, like I call like the add-on coding, like if it's my $600, $700 coding, I let people take it away. And only purely like on the same day, only purely because I've done it to my own cars and I've chucked them outside straight away in the rain and still no issues, like
yeah,
a year after. So the whole needing it to cure for 12 hours, 24 hours after, you've coated the car, I've tried to see if how concrete that is. But at the end of the day, it is different for all cars and temperature,
mm,
types of paint, everything like that.
yeah,
So for me, it's discretional. But when it's like a warranted coating, when it's a high-end coating, people are paying more money, there's higher expectation. I like to keep it overnight because it's also good to check over. Sometimes a high spot might show up the next morning under different lighting
yeah,
or just might show up and it's just like, how the heck were you were not there yesterday, but you're there now. And so it gives you that opportunity to check over the car, but it's always that extra peace of mind, I think, that it has cured for longer, and then the customer takes it that next day. Are you the
mm,
same?
yeah, yeah, pretty much. And that's another thing as well. It sounds that you need the car for so many hours, and I need to cure it as well. So it's sort of probably a bit better with the customer assurance and stuff, saying we are keeping the vehicle. We need this for to cure as well overnight. Yeah, you can let them go early, but very weather dependent. If they're going straight home to a garage, no dramas. But if it's raining and you're going home to a garage, I'd say I'll leave it
Yeah.
for the night. But yeah, 100% most times they're overnight. So
And I reckon maybe you'll just test it out, trial it out yourself, see how it goes with your own car, with the coatings you use.
mm,
But I think people like that peace of mind. Like, cool, it's overnight. Great. You're making sure that you're doing a really, really good job. I like that. I appreciate that.
yeah,
And it wins people over. It doesn't sound like you're rushing it but yeah, I get people who are like, how long does it take? 2 or 3 days? Like, what do I need to do? Like, I'm like, I hope not. Like, that's not a very good hourly rate if it does. But yeah, so and I think honestly, like people in North Queensland where I am now, very different approach to things to what it was like on the Sunshine Coast.
mm,
Um, and it's just different and you just got to adapt. And so some things I might say people might even scoff at or be like, what? Like, how's that even possible? I could never do that here. And maybe that's true, but give it a try. I think just try different things and see what it's like. See what it's like offering a cheaper alternative, see if it's helpful, see if it's profitable. Um, and yeah, if you don't try, you'll never know.
mm, no, that's it. So
Yeah, man, that's a
All
good
right.
bonus app.
Yeah, no, that's a good start.
I
So
like it.
yeah, we'll probably do a few more of these, and we'll see where it ends up. So we have banked a few episodes already, so
Yeah, this is a
listen out for
sneaky
them.
one,
Yep.
but we'd slide it in there, see if what people think. And yeah, let us know what you think, everyone. If you think I'm full of crap, then let me know. I'll try to fix that up. Um, if you think we got some good points, or if you have any questions, hit us up. I know Dale would love to answer all those questions. So, um, yeah, man.
I'll probably get bailed up for being too expensive, but
Yeah. Hey, like, Mount Gambier tax, it's a real thing, right?
yep. No, I'm not being greedy, but I think I'm literally nearly in the ballpark where everyone else is. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, it's interesting, and yeah, let me know if I am. Bring it on.
Hey, we all still buy iPhones. Well, I don't. I got a Google phone, but like, how expensive are iPhones, and yet we still do it. Like
Yep.
you buy it because you love it. You pay more for the experience, for all those things. So it's yeah, some things are worth more money. So go
Yep.
for it.
Yeah, no, exactly. All
Thanks,
right,
man.
we'll wrap it up. Cheers. Thank you.
See you guys.
That was another episode of the Detailing Down Under podcast. Subscribe now for everything auto detailing in Australia.